Welcome to TrojanVision's Semester in Review. I'm Paige Ray. In this episode, we'll be looking back at some of the top stories from the spring 2025 semester. And our top story, back in March, university officials gathered outside of the Center for Materials and Manufacturing Sciences to announce the creation of Troy's new academic college, the College of Science and Engineering. Along with the school's creation came its first undergraduate engineering program. Ty Davidson has the details.
As the world progresses further into an age of technology, electronics, and AI, there is a growing emphasis on STEM education, and it has not gone unnoticed by Troy University. Wednesday morning, university officials announced the opening of a new college that will be focused on engineering.
Well, I think this is really a leap forward for Troy University. You know, over its entire history, Troy has tried to change and evolve with the needs of the state. And right now we're seeing an increased demand for STEM fields.
The soft sciences, the social sciences have moved on to other locations, and what remains is just nothing but the hard sciences. And so the College of Science and Engineering will be involved only in the hard sciences.
Menon believes this focus on hard science will allow for development of other Troy programs as well.
This is important as we advance our curriculum, as we bring on more engineering programs and very technical programs. We cannot teach out of old textbooks. We have to advance knowledge.
Palmer expects the newly established college will grow the university in other ways.
I think this move in creating the engineering program will help us attract students to this institution that I think in the past have not even given us a look. If they find out we don't have engineering, that's where the interest stops.
Executive Vice President of the Business Council of Alabama, Clay Schofield, believes this new development will also benefit Alabama as a whole.
This is the future. This represents jobs of today and jobs of tomorrow. Troy being on the front end and ahead of the curve to make sure that they're preparing students is impressive, and it's important, and it's forward thinking, and we're just excited to be a part of it.
Part of the morning's press conference included the announcement of a new undergraduate program, the Bachelor of Science in Electrical and Electronics Engineering. Ty Davidson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The new engineering degree will be available for students starting in fall 2025. This semester also held big news for health science students. Troy University officially opened its new building that was designed with nursing and kinesiology students in mind. Jameson Fowler takes us inside the building and talks to the people who are now working and learning in it.
A new building for nursing students has been unveiled on Troy University's campus. Given the name Jones Hall, the facility is designed to take Troy's nursing programs to the next level.
We have a great deal more space. We also have more high-fidelity mannequins. We have virtual reality capability in our biology lab, movement education lab. It's actually a 180-degree swing as to where we were. So we're extremely proud, and we look forward to the future, not only to better educate our students, but also it will enhance faculty research.
The building is filled with state-of-the-art technology that ranges from simulated hospital settings all the way to virtual reality technology.
Not only do we have more of equipment that we've utilized in the past, it allows us to have more students in each class, so more students time on task because there's more equipment. More students can be utilizing those equipment and get more practice with equipment.
One student explains how the building and its equipment have helped her succeed in her craft.
This lab especially has helped us so much with the hands-on, with the new dummies and the beds and all of the hospital equipment, or hospital-like equipment I should say, that we have here that really trains you for when you go into the hospital setting. It's more updated, it's more modern, it's more what you see in real life. So you're not just being thrown out and saying, oh, I don't know what this is. You're like, oh, I've seen that before. And it helps you and gives you so much more experience.
Now, with the new building, university leaders hope Jones Hall will help nurses continue their education.
This just kicks us into overdrive. So this is a way for us to take it to another level as far as being able to recruit students, retain students, and prepare students for the workforce.
Jameson Fowler, Troy, TrojanVision News.
College of Health leadership says the building has been named after Billy Jones and his family for his contributions toward the building's funding. Amid all of those changes, Troy University announced a brand refresh. And one of the first stages of that refresh is a partnership with Carnegie, a higher education marketing and enrollment strategies firm. Carnegie came to the campus to film the university's new brand anthem video, and Jimmy Nichols was there.
The Carnegie firm has been on campus filming an upcoming brand video and is now ready to start the next step in the process.
We're shooting all week. We're getting both video and photography. Afterwards, there's going to be a couple months of editing and choices and musical choices and voiceover and all that sort of thing to be able to put it all together. And then, we bring that work back to the decision makers here, and we'll go through a couple rounds of revisions, and ultimately it'll produce what we're going to bring our vision to life, and then we cut it up in a variety of ways, and we place it in different media.
One of the key goals of the commercial shoot was for there to be student involvement.
Everyone's kind of doing what they normally do by and large, and really it's the magic of life here on Troy that we're capturing on screen.
Once the commercial debuts, the university hopes potential students feel as though their dreams can become realities at Troy University.
I want students and prospective students to see themselves in the work, to have this feeling of possibility that if they come here with their dream, if they come here with their aspirations, that through hard work and determination, that they'll be supported in that effort here. It'll help them to get success.
Although the filming of the brand anthem video is now complete, it will still be a few months before we see the results as the crew begins the editing process. Jimmy Nichols, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Several other locations on campus served as different scenes, such as the International Arts Center, John Robert Lewis Hall, the Arboretum, and more. Troy University students who represented their programs and areas of study were also cast as the talent for that video. Although incoming freshmen won't officially arrive until the summer, some incoming students received a sneak peek at college life during the university's inaugural Admitted Students Day. Ty Davidson shows us how.
Each year, upcoming students look forward to Troy University's summer orientation, Impact. But starting today, the university held an Admitted Students Day to give upcoming students an even earlier opportunity to experience the culture and everyday campus life of Troy.
So they're going to meet with their academic department, so I hope they get a wealth of knowledge from their individual colleges, but I also hope they just get more comfortable with campus and ready to be engaged once they get here.
It's really important for us to make sure that students understand our culture, understand the opportunities that are available. It's important for them to come and get an orientation prior to coming full time.
Of course, the college experience is about more than academics and getting through life as a student. Chancellor Hawkins emphasizes the importance of the relationships that the students will create, hopefully starting today.
The older I get, the more I realize the value of relationships. A lot of the relationships I share today were born more than 60 years ago when I entered college. We're by far the most diverse university in Alabama, and there's strength in diversity. Well, if you understand people different from yourself, you can begin to appreciate, and then you build those relationships.
We just want our students to get to know each other better before they come to Impact in the summer, so give them an opportunity to be on campus and to just meet other students that are headed to Troy.
Hawkins is extremely satisfied with the success of today's Admitted Students Day, as he believes this was a major step in overcoming one of Troy's biggest obstacles as a university and helping upcoming students see the true beauty and greatness of our school.
One of our great challenges, not being in a major metropolitan area, is for people to come and see what's here. The media refer to this as Alabama's most beautiful campus. If students visit this campus, then there's about a 75 to 80% chance that they will apply and take that next step. So these sorts of experiences are vital to us. When they see it, they'll appreciate it, they'll come back.
The college years are often referred to as the greatest years of one's life, and it is the mission of Chancellor Hawkins and Troy University to make those years as truly great as they possibly can be.
An undergraduate experience truly is not about making a living, it's about making a life, and there's far more to life than making a living. You have to do what you love, and if you do it, you'll do it well. Careers are important, but there's so much more. But this journey is powerful in shaping the rest of your life, and we want it to be in a beautiful place and a place where good people can come and learn and grow together.
Ty Davidson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Each year, Troy University continues its legacy of hosting inspiring voices during its annual Helen Keller Lecture Series. This year's keynote speaker was retired Marine Staff Sergeant Joey Jones, whose powerful story of service, sacrifice, and perspective drew hundreds to the Claudia Crosby Theater. Caden Walker takes us there.
On Tuesday, the Claudia Crosby Theater was filled with students, faculty, and community members for the 30th annual Helen Keller Lecture at Troy University. The featured speaker, Fox News contributor, and retired Marine Staff Sergeant Joey Jones. Jones, who served in combat both in Iraq and Afghanistan, shared his journey of resilience and purpose after losing both of his legs in an IED explosion during his final deployment. For many, his life story sounds like one of a war hero, but Jones has a different take.
A lot of people look at me and they have some sort of admiration or adulation because I lost my legs in combat, and I didn't let it turn me into a negative person, I guess. I can't help but think, I don't know what it's like to have cancer or to be living with a disease that's going to take my life, or to go through a messy divorce, or lose my business, or lose my home, or lose a child. And working in the industry I work in, to report the news, I hear about those things and report on them every single day. And I think about how strong those people are that go through things that are much worse than anything I've gone through, and they don't have the aspect of being treated like a hero after the fact, like I have.
Jones spoke honestly about how his injuries have defined how others see him, but not how he sees himself. He challenged the audience to think deeper about fairness, not just in terms of adversity, but also opportunity.
Have the humility, and when things are good, to introspect and know that things can be, that you can do better. Have the fortitude to get through when things are bad, and then have resilience in between.
Students in Troy's Future Educators program were among the crowd, along with other campus groups and members of the public. Many called Jones's message inspiring and humbling. Caden Walker, Troy, TrojanVision News.
This semester also saw a new Hall Waters Prize recipient be awarded. Recently, Southern author and former Alabama Poet Laureate Jennifer Horn became the latest recipient of Troy's esteemed award. Jimmy Nichols introduces us to her.
A longtime resident of Alabama, Jennifer Horn has spent plenty of time living in and writing about the South. The majority of her works reflect Southern culture and her own Southern heritage. While these facts would make her a prime candidate to be chosen for the Hall Waters Prize, the selection came as a shock to Horn.
I was so not expecting to get this prize that I thought maybe he wanted me to introduce the person who was getting the prize. And then I reread the email and I ran in and told my husband, I'm getting the Hall Waters Prize. You could have knocked me over with a stick. I was so surprised and then so delighted.
Organizers say Horn's work embodied the definition of Hall Waters, as each story, poem, and biography she has written has a Southern theme, which is what the award is meant to recognize.
Somebody who contributes to our understanding of the South, Southern culture, Southern history, Southern people, through their writing.
With many upcoming writers on Troy's campus, Horn took time to offer wisdom to young storytellers.
I think start small. Write something. Don't try to write the world's greatest novel in one day or even 1 year. Just do something every day related to the writing life.
Horn is currently working on more poems and another short biography. More details are expected to be released at a later date. Jimmy Nichols, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The Hall Waters Prize is endowed by the late Dr. Wade Hall, who is an author and Troy alumnus. Dr. Hall made the award in memory of his parents, Wade Hall Sr. and Sarah Elizabeth Waters. Artificial intelligence has become a popular topic on Troy University's campus. Right now, the university is working to firm up its AI Intelligence Forward initiative. Maddie Bagdonis has more.
AI is reshaping education across the U.S., and at Troy University, students are learning how it works and how to use it.
So the first thing you need to know is that Troy University is way ahead of everyone else with this. I mean, I often will tell people, there are maybe a half dozen schools in the country that are ahead of us. I don't think it's even that number.
As AI continues to evolve, so do the ethical questions. Where's the line between help and cheating? What's fair and what's plagiarism?
And so we had rampant academic dishonesty, not just at Troy, But across the English-speaking world, we have very good research to show this. It became very, very bad. And so we had a real spike in students who were getting suspended and expelled for their AI use. It was a real problem.
To help students navigate AI ethically, Troy University's new initiative is aiming to make AI education a part of their curriculum. Troy University is putting itself at the forefront of innovation, providing freshmen courses to learn and train on AI, which will put them a step ahead when looking for future jobs.
Starting in the fall of 2025, every incoming freshman is going to receive this in multiple classes, regardless of their major. So no matter what your major is, you're going to have some training in what we call AI the Trojan way.
Troy University is working to make sure students are not just using AI, but using it wisely. Maddie Bagdonis, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Earlier this year, Troy University announced that it will soon open its AI Center for Education and Research facility on the Montgomery campus. Still to come on Troy TrojanVision's Semester in Review, students band together to honor momentous occasions in history, raise money for good causes, and celebrate a life taken far too soon. Those stories are on the way. Welcome back. Across the nation, millions of people struggle with the realities of poverty. To raise awareness and foster empathy, Troy's Office of Civic Engagement gave students the chance to experience what it's like to live with some of those struggles. Alexis Phelps shows us how.
Troy University's Civic Engagement Group held their poverty simulation this week in the TC ballrooms. Students who attended the event got to participate in a hands-on experience that simulates poverty.
We basically all were put into families and we all had our own dynamic. I had two brothers, a mom and a dad. My dad was unemployed. I was 16 and pregnant. And we had to find a way to survive the month with all being put in, poverty cases being lower than the middle class. It was interesting, but we managed to survive. We didn't get evicted, our lights stayed on, and yeah.
Members of Troy University's Civic Engagement Group strongly encourage students to attend.
We really want students to attend because it allows them to have an immersive experience in what it's like to live on a limited income and experience the increase or rise in prices in everyday items. This really enlightens them to better serve going forward in their future careers.
The poverty simulation gives students a chance to understand what living paycheck to paycheck is really like.
I guess it's an awakening for most people, especially like kids our age. You don't really think about things like this until you get into the situation. You don't really think about how people have to provide for themselves and their family. I just think it's one of those events that everybody needs to participate in.
The date for the next simulation will be announced next semester by Troy's Civic Engagement Group. Alexis Phelps, Troy TrojanVision News.
Back in February, Troy students gathered to celebrate Black History Month by taking part in a unity walk. Reporter Will Eldridge takes us there.
Behind me, Troy University students have gathered in front of John Robert Lewis Hall to celebrate Black History Month with the annual Unity Walk here on Troy campus.
So this is our second annual event celebrating unity. It's a unity march celebrating Black History Month and honoring unity and how far we've come.
Leading up to the march, event-goers heard remarks from the members of Delta Sigma Theta, a letter on behalf of Chancellor Hawkins, and a speech given by SGA President Betsy Bennett.
Together we are Troy, and together we can build a campus community where every student feels valued,
heard, and connected.
The Unity Walk is more than just an annual event. Turner says it's a significant moment of unity for the Troy community.
And now that we can be unified, I think that's the significance of it all, just being able to come together no matter what race, what color. We just want to keep building on top. So maybe we'll walk with the mayor, or maybe we can get other people to come and to continue to make it bigger, a bigger impact and a bigger effect.
This event doesn't just stand as a reminder for those who marched in the past, but also a motivator to take action for what you believe in. Will Eldridge, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Just a few days later, thousands of people gathered in Selma in celebration of an annual March for Freedom known as Bloody Sunday. Reporter Simon Brown was there to witness all the action.
I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Those were some of the sounds heard at this year's Selma Jubilee Festival. 60 years ago, civil rights leaders marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. In the process, the people marching, referred to as foot soldiers, were stopped and beaten by state troopers. Decades later, in 2025, people gathered to remember those leaders to ensure their sacrifices are never forgotten. Congressman Shamari Figures shared the importance of keeping their legacy alive.
Because if we don't understand and appreciate our history, we're bound to repeat the same conditions that led to people being beaten coming across that bridge in the first place.
Some of the same foot soldiers that crossed the bridge in 1965 were present for this year's march. We spoke to Diana Steele, who expressed the importance of getting the youth involved.
This time is real special because we brought more young people than we ever brought before. Now more so than ever, we have to get our young people involved, we have to stay involved, and most of all, we have to speak up.
Marchers were not only advocating for civil rights, but also marching for women, immigrants, liberty, and a call for moral revival. Figures also commented on how advocating for voting rights still matters today.
We are seeing attacks on our democracy, the core of our democracy. We have been seeing efforts for the better part of the last decade plus, stripping away the voting rights that were fought for and secured right here in Selma. And so I think people understand the need to continue to show up and show out for voting rights and stand up for those people that made so many sacrifices for people like me and people like everybody in this country, because the civil rights movement was about ensuring equality for everybody, regardless of your skin color.
Due to the efforts of the foot soldiers, the Voting Rights Act of 1965 was passed, prohibiting states from denying people the right to vote based on race. Figures shared the hope that Selma brings to him and how he feels inspired by it.
If you ever need to feel hope, come to Selma during Jubilee, because you will see people from across this country, people from across the world that understand the significance of what happened here. People that truly understand what happened here. And that is always inspiring, it's always refreshing, it's motivating, and something that encourages me and I think back to every single day when I'm sitting in D.C.
As Coretta Scott King once said, struggle is a never-ending process. Freedom is really never won. You earn it and win it in every generation.
Back in Troy, another group of people prepared to walk, this time for veterans. Brothers of the Alpha Tau Omega fraternity laced up their sneakers, started walking, and didn't stop until they hit the coast. Jamison Fowler explains.
Friday morning, members of Alpha Tau Omega will start a 6-day walk to Panama City Beach as a way to help wounded veterans.
Walk Hard is a 128.3 mile trek from the quad at University all the way down to Pier Park at Panama City Beach, Florida. We walk 6 days over spring break for wounded veterans, raising support and awareness towards a mission called Jeep Sullivan's Wounded Warrior Outdoor Adventures.
This is the 15th year the brothers have done the walk, and Tonez says it comes a long way since the first walk to the beach.
It's an incredible legacy that we've upheld in Alpha Tau Omega, the fraternity I'm part of. I was actually just speaking with a former director a couple days ago, and he talked about the days that we didn't even have a support team that follows along us and refills our water. We didn't even have a medical team that helps pop our blisters and bandage us up when we have scrapes and things like that. It started with 2 guys, and they actually lost money the first time they did it. They were like down $200 on the supplies they had bought. And so now fast forward to today when we're consistently getting over $100,000 in support of these veterans. It's incredible to be a part of something so much bigger than me, so much bigger than any of these guys who have participated, but together through the years we've really built something to be proud of.
This year, they hope to continue raising over $100,000 through their efforts and are looking for the people to help contribute to that goal.
Our goal for this year is $135,000. You can donate in two ways. First is through our link on CrowdChange. We have an account set up. All money goes to Jeep Sullivan's Wounded Warrior Outdoor Adventures. You can also cut a check straight to Jeep Sullivan's Outdoor Adventures.
The brothers expect to reach Panama City Beach on Wednesday afternoon. Jamison Fowler, Troy, TrojanVision News.
In the end, ATO raised $140,000 for Jeep Sullivan's Wounded Warrior Outdoor Adventures. And ATO wasn't the only intercollegiate group to walk for a good cause this semester. Kappa Delta sorority focused its efforts on preventing child abuse during its annual Shamrock Run. Simon Brown has more.
Kappa Delta partnered with the Child Advocacy Center, a subset of Prevent Child Abuse America, to hold its Shamrock Run. Participants had the option to run in a 5K race or 1 mile race. Getting doused in colorful chalk was also optional.
It just makes me so happy and so supported to see all these people coming out here to support the children, just to help them. And the Children's Advocacy Center here is a great facility and they do so many amazing things. So to see this community of people come to be here and support them and help raise money for them, it just makes my heart so happy.
With over 300 people in attendance, Kappa Delta raised $35,000 for the Child Advocacy Center, surpassing its set goal of $33,000. 80% of the money that Kappa Delta raised will go towards helping children locally in Troy.
This money that they give us helps to continue to make sure those services are free. And then 10% goes to their national organization, which is Prevent Child Abuse America.
This is how many look after Kappa Delta's 5K Shamrock Run.
One runner set a personal goal for himself while supporting Kappa Delta's philanthropy.
It was good. I was a little unprepared, but my legs burned a little bit, but then they went numb and it was all good. I didn't walk at all, which is a goal of mine, to never walk in 5Ks. I've definitely walked in the past, but the most recent 5Ks I've run, I haven't walked. So just gaining that mental endurance as well.
After the race, participants relaxed at the Kappa Delta House, enjoying food trucks and live music, a fitting end to a tough race. Simon Brown, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Weeks later, Trojans and members of the community laced up their shoes and hopped on their bikes to honor the memory of Owen Wayne Lewis. Lewis unexpectedly passed away on April 28, 2022. In order to carry on his legacy, his parents, Dr. Onick and Heather Lewis, started O's Cool Bike Foundation. Simon Brown has more.
Tents, bicycles, and dinosaurs were all present on the quad for the 3rd annual Owen Wayne Lewis Memorial Bike Ride. Dr. Heather Lewis, Owen's mother, reflected on how she believes her son would have reacted to the event.
It 1000% replicates him. He loved dinosaurs, he loved bounce houses, he loved the color blue. He just loved being outside, and the weather today is absolutely beautiful, and I feel like part of him is making that happen. To date, we've never, I'm gonna knock on some wood, but we've never had rain on this event. And so I truly believe that he's up there helping us to have a beautiful day, an amazing event, and he would love this.
While some participants took to walking and riding around campus, some riders took a lengthier approach. Between 8 and 9 a.m., some riders embarked on 64, 45, and 34-mile bike rides across Pike County. The younger generation also had the chance to participate by racing around the quad.
I think something that makes this event so special is how it brings the community together. It's something that needs to be done more. You know, Troy's a small town, but we don't know everyone. So having this community is amazing.
This year, Lewis aims to achieve a big goal from the proceeds of the event.
So our scholarship here at Troy University, we're actually hoping from the proceeds of this event to actually endow our scholarship, and that way it will live on forever with the university. But it is for first-generation college students majoring in human services, social work, and then hospitality, tourism, and event management, which are the programs that my husband and I both teach out of.
The Owen Wayne Lewis Memorial Bike Ride is not just about miles traveled, but about a life celebrated and remembered. Simon Brown, Troy, TrojanVision News.
These past few stories have demonstrated determination and grit, themes you'll find in our next 2 stories. In late March, a tornado ripped through Pike County, leaving a path of destruction in its wake. We begin by sharing the stories of 2 women whose neighborhoods felt the tornado's direct impact. Sarah Campbell reports.
Troy residents were met with thunderous storms and raging winds as they sheltered in their homes last week. Outside, a tornado, leaving behind nothing but destruction.
When you walk out, you don't expect to see what you see.
The tornado left its mark on Pike County. Plenty of homes were damaged and power lines and trees remained down. Kelly Baggett, who works at the university, is one homeowner who was impacted.
Just hoping that everybody was safe, that everybody was paying attention to the weather and making sure that they were in their safe spot, and hoping that it just wouldn't be as bad as they were expecting it was going to be.
Lauren Cole, Troy University's executive director of the Center for Student Success, was also home during the time of the storm.
We could hear the popping and snapping of trees all around us. We were all huddled in our closet. It got really, really loud. The wind was extremely loud, and so I wasn't sure how much damage we had. It almost sounded like it was in the house.
With only minor damages to their homes, Baggett and Cole say they are grateful it wasn't worse. Still, their hearts go out to those who were hit harder.
Almost none of the houses on our road were hit. We all had minor damage, but not even 500 yards up from us, there was a lot of damage. We're blessed on our road.
We had some pretty significant damage, but thankfully it was just our property and not our home. It was a scary, scary time, but we're so thankful that there were no injuries.
Now the community is coming together to regroup. Volunteers making all the difference.
All of the volunteers that showed up the day after it happened were just vital to us. We didn't have power at the time. We really weren't sure what all kind of damage we had.
We wouldn't have been able to get through, off of our driveway. It's good to know that you have neighbors that way, that we can rely on each other in times like this.
As cleanup efforts continue, those who were impacted say they are glad to live in such a selfless community. Sarah Campbell, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Some of the groups that offered their support included local churches, M5 Construction, and the Salem Baptist Association, along with the Alabama Disaster Relief Association. City and county agencies also came to help. And Troy Parks and Recreation's facilities also took serious damage. Ever since that storm rolled out, Troy's Parks and Rec Center staff has not stopped working to make things go back to normal. The team wasted no time working to make a rec center recreational again. Will Eldridge shows us how.
What was meant to be a safe place unexpectedly turned into a front row seat for people seeking refuge from the storm. As the storm raged outside, rec center staff had to act quickly.
I was here probably 15 minutes after it happened, really. And, people shook up, I think, a little bit, but nobody was like running around or crazy, nothing like that. Like Dan and them did a great job having everybody in the locker rooms when it happened. So no matter what, people were safe.
Once the storm had moved past, staff members got their first look at the damage.
David Dickey, myself, and Dalton went to the fields to kind of see exactly how bad everything was, what we could do to kind of lock everything off, rope it off, and that's when we noticed a lot of the light poles down, scoreboards, fence. It was pretty tragic as far as we're concerned because, without our fields, we're in trouble.
Now, nearly 2 weeks later, the rec center team is still in full recovery and rebuild mode.
We just have got the approval to start the cleanup process on that side. Right now, we're going to spend the next day, 2-3 days picking everything up. Then we'll start kind of assessing everything that we need, bleachers, fencing, lights, basically tear apart everything that we had and start the process over.
To stay up to date on the recovery and reopening of the rec center, follow its Facebook page at Troy Parks and Recreation. There you'll find updates. Still to come on the semester in review, 2 teams make it big at various competitions. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories, unless we do something about it. do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we offer leadership opportunities from day one. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change. Do you have what it takes to change the world?
A lot can happen in a day, and most of it can't be summed up in a headline or subject line or 140 characters. So when you're ready to know more than just what's happening outside your window, around the country, and across the globe, we'll bring you the voices who can tell you why.
This is All Things Considered.
Listen every afternoon from 3 to 5:30 p.m. on Troy Public Radio.
Thanks for staying with us. Troy's gymnastics team, only in its second year of existence, recently picked up another big win during one of its biggest events of the year. Caden Walker has that story.
The high-flying twists and turns of the Troy University gymnastics team recently landed them in first place at regionals. Their club president says that this is a win that will stick with them forever.
Lots of hard work goes into gymnastics, and our girls really did put in the work, and we were able to pull off another win, which is amazing.
In competing as non-USAG competitors, the girls say that they can have fun while preparing for competitions.
There is a more fun atmosphere, and the judges aren't as harsh, and it's easier to score higher a little bit, but it's still competitive, so it's just very fun to prepare.
Some gymnasts on the team say that this isn't their first time taking a leap across the beam.
I started at Prattville YMCA Gymnastics when I was 2 years old. My mom did a Mommy and Me class because she did gymnastics when she was a kid, and I wouldn't get off the couch. I was like cartwheeling over the couch, so she put me in gymnastics, and I stopped when I was 12 and then started back when I came to college.
And I did club gymnastics like as a kid because it's a lot more laid back. You practice what you want. It's less stressful, like we all have fun, and so it's just getting new skills, like perfecting our old ones.
And the girls have a message to anyone thinking about joining the team.
I'd say just do it. Like, I mean, I'm from Indiana, so I didn't really know anybody coming into Troy, so it was like a good way to get involved, like get to know some people around campus. And it's a really fun atmosphere. We all have fun. Like, I mean, we all stay together when we go to competition, so like you get to really get to know everyone and just have a really fun time.
Caden Walker, Troy, TrojanVision News.
While they spend most of their time getting Trojan fans to cheer, Troy University's cheerleading squad has something to cheer about themselves. Recently, the team had success competing at the national level. Caden Walker has the team's reaction to how well they did this year at nationals.
You've likely seen the Troy University cheer team on game day at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Well, they recently got to take their skills to an even bigger stage at nationals in Orlando, Florida. Speaking to cheerleaders, they say that this year they did not disappoint.
It was really surreal getting to do it with this team, and I couldn't be prouder. I think 7th was awesome, and we did our absolute best.
After we finished our routine, just hugging my best friend Sydney and just knowing that we made it together was really great.
They say that the feeling of a 7th-place win was electrifying, a feeling that they'll never forget, especially when they acknowledge who they were up against.
Really big teams like Minnesota, Memphis, Penn State, and usually we go against like LSU, Tennessee, and so for them to get 7th, like that was like absolutely insane, and I could not be more proud of them.
During their time at nationals, it wasn't all stunting and competing. They had some fun along the way.
Well, we also went to Disney World, so that was really fun in and of itself. Just riding the rides with my teammates and having more friend fun, as I would say, just you know, being beside each other and on the roller coasters or in line, just making memories.
All the moments I have are with my roommate, Ja, and we were just messing around. We went to Magic Kingdom when we first got there, and I was with Ja and a couple of the girls. Having that moment with my teammates and just having fun at Disney was awesome.
Trojans head cheer coach Nick Loriquente says that the team has put in countless hours of hard work that's been in action since this summer.
It kind of gets ready in the summertime when we go to UCA camp. From camp, we progress into our football season. We use football season as kind of practices, and then we sit there and get all the way through nationals, which is a long time.
It's such a blessing. I'm so thankful to be a part of this team with such good coaches and good athletes, and it was just such a rewarding moment just for this program and for the future of this program, for sure.
That's all the updates we have from the Elm Street Gym. Caden Walker, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Next on the Semester in Review, international celebrations abound at Troy University. We're taking you to some of them coming up, so stay with us.
Wake up.
Wake up to the world.
To the marvels. The mayhem.
The music.
Wake up to the wows. The woes.
The wonder.
Wake up to the commotion. To the beauty.
To the humanity.
To the hope. Wake up every morning. Fully awake.
NPR Morning Edition.
Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Troy Public Radio.
Welcome to the Semester in Review. Troy often boasts that it is Alabama's international university. Here, students often travel the world through study abroad programs, but recently students didn't even have to leave campus to get worldwide culture. John Robert Lewis Hall was full of culturally diverse display tables put together by some of Troy's senior management students. It was part of the program's annual International Trade Show. Ty Davidson has the story.
Troy University often refers to itself as Alabama's International University and boasts about its diverse curriculums and student body. Wednesday's International Trade Show was a display of that mantra's importance to the management program, and one that particularly impressed Associate Professor Dr. Clint Relier.
It seems like every year they exceed them. They go above and beyond because they talk to the students who did it last year and they figure out how they're going to do it.
The trade show saw students dressed up in culturally appropriate garb, tables filled with facts and information about their country, and even food and drinks for visitors to try. But for Relier, the event is more than just a fun cultural exposure. It's an opportunity for his students to learn the importance of broadening their horizons.
This is another way for them to understand things that are different than what they're used to because they learn all about the culture, the economy, and that kind of stuff. They act like trade representatives for the particular countries that they were assigned. And so they have to learn everything about it.
Creating the displays was no simple task, though. As one student explained, it was a long, in-depth process.
I know our group, we met like once a week, throwing ideas off, trying to raise money to buy certain things, doing the research, first and foremost. It's been a semester-long process. That's not something we just threw up in like 12 hours. It took a little bit of time, especially waiting on Amazon. The costumes barely got here in time.
Judges graded students on their cultural details, creativity, and ability to sell their country. But despite the competition, a few of the students were supportive of and impressed by their peers' displays.
Everybody got their own unique ideas, and I know a bunch of them, so I could tell they put their personality into it.
I mean, I've seen a lot of my friends have been doing really good. I love to see the creativity that they've used. There's a straw hut behind me. It looks really great.
Celebration of culture continued when international and domestic students alike came together in an explosion of color to celebrate the Hindu festival known as Holi. Sarah Campbell has more.
A celebration characterized by music, dancing, and color. Holi is a Hindu festival that marks the beginning of spring each year. The Indian Student Association brought this festive tradition to Troy's campus.
We have a lot of Indians at Troy. We wanted to bring some of our culture here.
Also known as the Festival of Colors, Holi signifies the triumph of good over evil. According to Hindu tradition, it also has religious roots.
Lord Krishna was slightly dark-skinned, and he was worried that Radha would not, like him. His mother was tired of that, and she told Goddess Radha to go and paint Lord Krishna with colors that she liked. So he would know that despite of the skin color, she still loved him.
As a way to symbolize the vibrant colors of spring and celebrate new beginnings, during Holi, people throw colored powder on one another. Just like this.
It's love, fun, and the bond that the two people have or the group of people have when they play. The colors are spreading love.
With many international students busy with classes and unable to go home, This event helped bring home to them.
It's nice if you can bring your festivals here where the students are, and so that they don't miss home as much.
Not only that, but it also helped introduce Indian culture to other students, bringing everyone together as one.
Switching gears now, some students may be on, that was, okay, one step. 3. Okay, I'll remember that. Switching gears now, some students may be one step closer to securing a job post-graduation thanks to a recent career fair. Earlier this semester, the Hall School of Journalism and Communication invited media professionals from across the state to meet with students. Reporter Will Eldridge was there to capture students' first steps into the world of broadcast.
Making connections and networking is the first step in finding a job that fits you. Troy University's Hall School of Journalism and Communications hosted a career fair to help students do just that.
I like that it provided me with so many connections and the ability to get excited about my future, and it allowed a lot of the employers to give me advice, and they gave me a lot of encouragement and just good advice about where I should go next.
Media professionals say their favorite part of coming to the career fair is catching up with students who have already made a connection.
There have been a couple of students that I've met today, or that I've met previously, that I caught up with again today, that have taken some of the advice that I've given them and utilized it to better themselves as far as working on their resume tape and working on improving their stories.
Professionals' biggest piece of advice: start getting experience now.
The number one piece of advice that I've given every student that I've talked to today that is not involved at the TrojanVision is just being involved in TrojanVision. Back when I was here in the early 2000s, it was the reason that I got a job where I am now when I was a junior in college, and it's 100% because of everything that I learned here at the Troy University J School and TrojanVision.
According to the Hall School of Journalism's website, it has a consistently high job placement rate, with most of its students having jobs before graduation. Will Eldridge, Troy, TrojanVision News.
It's time for our final break, but when we return, music fills the air on Troy University's campus thanks to several talented musicians and ensembles. Stay tuned.
At Troy, Military Appreciation is more than just a month. It's a core part of who we are. As a small token of our appreciation, active duty military and their families can apply to Troy for free using the code USMIL 2025 during the month of May. Learn more and apply today by visiting troy.edu/military.
Welcome back. We're turning to the arts now. The end of the semester often marks the end of months filled with practices and rehearsals that culminate with several concerts and performances. One of those was this semester's percussion concert. Ty Davidson takes us there.
An ensemble cannot function without its director, and a director cannot learn without a mentor. This Sunday, Troy University's percussion ensemble dedicated its show to the man who taught its director, Dr. Timothy Blackstock.
This concert was in tribute to the 20th year of his director's passing, who's Joseph Rasmussen, and it was all about the music that he likes.
For Ammons, it was more than just a tribute to Rasmussen, it was also an attempt to honor director Blackstock as well.
I think it's really cool, especially being, his student. It's just like, the lineage going down, seeing that tribute to him, and then me kind of tributing to Dr. Blackstock, being able to play in the ensemble and everything like that is super, super cool to me.
One piece was particularly special, as it was a duet played by both Ammons and Blackstock together.
I really, really like playing that one with Dr. B because that gave me more of the sense of having the mentor play with the student as just as he played with his. And I think it was really special to me being able to play with him.
The duet wasn't the only special piece of the night, though. The ensemble also performed a 20-minute-long 4-movement song that Ammon says was an incredible experience.
It's immersive. You got to get locked in. But it's super, super fun being able to stay in that place, especially because, you know, music moves on the scale of time. You can't get the whole thing in one picture. So being able to stay there for 20 whole minutes is just, it's awesome.
Ty Davidson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
At the end of the performance, Blackstock honored the 3 seniors in the ensemble, one of which was Ammon's, by giving each of them an individual spotlight to close their last big performance here at Troy University. And the university's jazz ensemble also entertained music lovers with its spring concert held in downtown Troy. In addition to the music, something special was waiting for 2 chosen members of the band. Will Eldridge has the story.
Thursday evening, the Jazz Ensemble took the stage downtown for a night of music and honoring tradition.
It's a very special night for us. Once a year, we have a concert of which a Troy alumni, John Mazzell, comes here and helps to present an award. We're so excited that we have 2 $4,000 awards, which will be presented to 2 jazz band members tonight.
John Mazzell, the man responsible for the scholarship, has a deep-rooted history at Troy. His mother was a pianist at Troy who graduated in 1931. Mazzell also played under the great Johnny Long and eventually became Long's concertmaster in 1963.
I like to help these kids. It's probably not a lot of money, but I hope to make it a full ride eventually. It gives me great pleasure to have more money than I need. I fund this scholarship. It'll be funded even more after I pass.
The 2 scholarship recipients happen to both be longtime trombone players.
Well, I started on trombone, and when I went into band in middle school, I had started getting interested in jazz about halfway through high school.
I chose bass trombone partly because of tradition. A lot of the men in my family play trombone, but mostly because my dad, he was a big influence as a bass trombonist himself and a band director. He's why I ended up here.
And the music doesn't stop there. Populace also got in on the action. Ty Davidson has the sights and sounds.
Whether it's rock and roll, hip-hop, country, or pop, Troy's contemporary music group Populace can and will put on a performance, even encouraging audience participation in moments of this Tuesday's show at the JCA studio, which was one filled with variety thanks to the vast pool of musical interests within the group.
It's a little bit different for every concert. For this particular one, we actually put out a form, and we had members of the group submit what songs that they'd like to sing. We had a lot of original songs tonight.
Of course, selecting the songs was only the first step of a surprisingly short preparation and rehearsal period, which the performers say would be much more stressful if it weren't for the connections they built with each other.
We have rehearsal twice a week for about an hour and a half, and we kind of forced all this together. A lot of the originals that you heard tonight were things that they've done together for weeks, months, years.
We end up doing like back-to-back shows like 2 weeks out, so we only have like 4 rehearsals to get songs together, so we end up, kind of rushing, but high chemistry, we've got high energy, so I think we end up really, really pulling it out in the end.
Despite this seemingly constant time constraint, Jordan says that being in Populace is an experience that he is extremely grateful to be a part of, and Gwen hopes that the students involved grow to be the next generation of great musicians.
I was back there tonight taking little videos of clips and sending it to people in the industry that I know, like, hey, this is somebody that, could come work with you, come play in your band.
We're kind of the outliers. We're music industry. Every other, ensemble within the music program is really, really classical based. And so we're the first band to be popular music based. And it's so fun to be able to just kind of express ourselves in ways that don't always get to see from Troy University. So I'm glad that we get to be that catalyst.
Ty Davidson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
A Broadway show came to life on Troy's campus when the Department of Theater and Dance debuted The Music Man. Jack Sturdiment has the story.
Thursday night,
Troy University's Department of Theater and Dance hosted its opening night for the production, The Music Man.
Music Man is the story of Professor Harold Hill, who comes into River City, Iowa, just knowing that this small town is going to be the place that he does his next con and then skips town. And then this town proves to be something different for him, and that's how the story unfolds.
Cast and crew alike have been working on the production since early January.
It was thrilling to see it pay off for them, to see them finally get to perform for an audience, all their hard work, to see them having such a good time performing on stage and the audience enjoying it. It was really great, really gratifying.
The Music Man is being performed at the Janice Hawkins Cultural Arts Park Amphitheater.
We have this wonderful amphitheater, which is such a unique part of campus and the arts culture here at the university. And so it's wonderful to get to be able to make use of this gorgeous space on such a beautiful spring night.
Jack Sturdivant, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And just because concert season is over doesn't mean you can't listen to great music via Troy University. As Jimmy Nichols explains, Troy Public Radio is now offering a popular music program music lovers can't get enough of.
Troy NPR is excited to announce that their weekly program will be adding the popular online series Tiny Desk to the schedule.
People who sell out large arenas come and play this Tiny Desk. I mean, we're talking like the Taylor Swifts and the Kendrick Lamars and all the way, It's really literally they play at a desk, somebody's desk, at NPR's music division.
The Tiny Desk also offers a chance for new and up-and-coming artists such as Chappell Roan and Doechii to get more exposure. These new artists aren't the only ones hoping to reach a bigger audience from the series.
A lot of other students around here are familiar with Tiny Desk, so it's another opportunity for people to tune in here and listen to something on the station.
Previously, the series could only be seen on YouTube and as a podcast on the NPR website. After this weekend, it will be able to reach millions of listeners over the air.
It will be airing Friday nights at 7 and Saturday nights at 6. We've got our broadcast signals, which are 89.9 in Montgomery and Troy, 88.7 in Dothan, and 91.7 WTJB in Columbus and Phoenix City. And you can also stream us at troypublicradio.org. And you can tell your smart speakers and your smartphone to play Troy Public Radio.
TPR is looking forward to streaming the series with over 1 billion streams across their airwaves.
You can watch old episodes of the Tiny Desk series on YouTube at the NPR Music account. And that marks the end of Trojan Vision's Semester in Review. We thank you for all your support this past semester. Trojan Vision will return in just a few short weeks. So until we see you again, have a great start to your summer.